These large circumferences of 5 to 10 feet in diameter, and it's just beautiful to paint. But my paintings, I hope to, in a lifetime, my lifetime, is to explore all this, to get all of this out. It's hard for me to look at the California oak or any other type of a tree. It's just more or less of the redwood trees because of the bark formations that that I have to really pay attention to, and it really excites you. And the sun comes up and it has the different blendations of color from 11 o'clock till 1 o'clock or 1:30. It has all these different menus of the color wheel, and then all of a sudden the yellows spark up more, turquoise blue sparks up, and within the elements, the bush around the trees, and the leaf that comes from the widowmakers, or not the widowmakers, but the branches that has these different swoops and directional. It's very, I thought it would be very easy to paint, but it's not. You really have to study on the flow and direction to make it look natural, and I call it naturalism. And to me, that's a very sound definition right there. From the profile of one side of a tree is to watch how these branches come out and flourish out in a certain way that that you think to yourself, okay, see if I can try to capture the rhythm of the branches that come out, that extend out for the leaf to flourish out. So sometimes that from a distance, one certain redwood tree will have a massive thickness of leaf that comes in bulks like this, and then sometimes it just comes down like oh God, like raindrops coming down so fluently and beautiful, and with the sunlight coming up, it has all this beautiful colors and renditions of of thought, and to make you more inventive, and to really try to capture this beautiful ornaments or of colors coming down. It's just magnificent. You have to have forget the pencil. You have to have the oils out now to try to capture all of this. And it's so, God, remarkable every day to be out here from 11 till 1:30. I don't care what time it is now. I painted one painting that the sunlight, early morning sunlight. I was up very early in the morning to catch the sunlight coming through the forest, the trees, and it was just so remarkable that, I mean, I only had maybe 45 minutes to capture that.
I'm an art collector myself. My name is Dottie Russell, and I have the good fortune of having some of Stuart's art pieces in my collection. And as he talks about the detail that he puts into the bark, and he talks about the yellows that pop up, and then he talks about the turquoise colors. So these are very indicative of Stuart's work. Oftentimes when someone paints a large canvas, they use a large paintbrush. But Stuart uses like a double-aught paintbrush for a lot of his paintings, even when he's using a large canvas. So that's how he manages to achieve some of this amazing detail that he puts in. So those are the colors, and this painting that I'm holding is actually part of a series of 4 that all work together to create one large masterpiece of his. It's quite amazing, and he's done this in giclées as well as original. Then he's taken these hollows in the paintings and embedded in the hollows some of the ideas that he's had as far as this environment and centuries of people living among the redwood trees. So the redwood trees are not something that are just here, but instead part of the, not just part of the environment, but part of the soul of the human beings that live here. So he actually has people right down at the base. I don't know if I hold this up a little bit. He has Native American people from centuries ago living amongst the trees and making this a wonderful place and adding their appreciation and use of the area. And as we start looking more at having green building and having areas sustainable, we realize that the way these areas and trees were treated centuries ago was really what we need to return to, because we've exploited these trees and the environment, and now it's catching up with us with global warming, with the lack of resources. And had we been respectful like the ancestors that were in these forests centuries ago, we wouldn't be in the predicament that we're in now. So it's really wonderful that Stuart is able to capture a lot of the sense of this in his paintings, his colored pencil. He has colored pencil. He's done some beautiful paintings that are on display in Arcata, also in Washington, D.C., in the Capitol building in Sacramento. So he has work all over, and some of his wonderful work is also done just with crayons, just with a box of crayons. So it's wonderful to know that he can take a pencil, just like this. This is, I picked it up from his room, and this is a 4B pencil. And just with a pencil and a piece of paper, he can create a masterpiece, and that's what makes him a really unusual and spectacular artist.
Okay, now we're at a different location. We have an area where the Native Americans from a long time ago, had lived down underneath the large redwood trees, and they had a special person there called the shaman. Well, the shaman would use the entrance of some of these trees, the huge trees here, trying to, where he works his medicine, and also he also works his medicine, and he to purify the people. And well, anyway, so my large trees simplified, are in the same magnitude of the trees that he had used a long time ago in and about the trees. And some of them have large holes up in here where he would light a fire from underneath and would come back up. The smoke would come out of the top of the trees in order to capture the attention of the rest of the tribal members. And so they could all come to a meeting, or they would come and dance and pray to release the sickness of a small child or from anybody with